Hello again, this is David Smith at the Develop Conference in Brighton, and I'm pleased to have with me James Brooksby, the studio head at Double Six, part of the Kuju group. James, can you please tell us a bit about yourself and the Double Six studio?
So I'm James Brooksby and I run Double Six based in Guildford in the UK. We primarily concentrate on digital distribution games, straight to consumer. That means that it's things like XBLA, PSN, PC for the kind of Steam and direct to drive and Metably, things like that. WiiWare, DSiWare, iPhone, iPad, lots of things, but the main conceit of Double Six is all about direct to consumer and the future of what that holds for all of us, even things like cloud gaming and so on as well.
And tell us a little bit about the projects you've been working on.
So Double Six has been around as a part of the Kuju Entertainment Group since 2007, and we initially worked on Geometry Wars Galaxies, and then we've been working on, at the same time as two products at the same time. One was South Park for Microsoft on XBLA, and at the same time we were producing our own first self-published title, which was Burn Zombie Burn, and that released in the spring of 2009 and has done really well for us. It's been an excellent game, and in fact now we've done more expansion packs, we've done a user guide, we've done a comic, we've even done competitions where people have gone to Paris and Egypt if they've won a competition on the leaderboards, and also we've even 3D printed little figurines for people to win if they score high enough. So we've actually done an enormous amount as a little independent studio because there's only sort of 23 of us, and we've done a hell of a lot there. We also this year have worked on, since South Park, we worked on a Top Gun for Paramount, but right now we have 3 super secret projects in production, which are all self-published. They're all self-published. They're going to be published by Double Six. So we're becoming what we wanted to be, which is an independent sort of boutique publisher making the games we want to make direct to the consumer.
Very good. And what's your background? How did you come to be working at Double Six?
So my background, so in about 1995, I joined the industry, and I started out as a junior artist. I'd actually qualified with an engineering degree, but did a master's in business. Not an MBA, but just Masters in Business for the final year, and came in because I wanted to be in games. I didn't want to go and be an engineer. I changed my mind by then, and wanted to be in games, and started as a junior artist. Had a good, I guess you could call it, technical drawing ability. I could make anything in 3D quite easily, and just started off of there. And as soon as I came into the first organisation I was a member of, they could immediately see that I was organising the people above me. So before I knew it, I was the lead artist, and then literally 6 months in, I had my first team. I mean, teams were smaller in those days. There weren't hundreds of people. It was like 7 or 8 people. So I had an 8-man team. We went off and made a PC game, but I was in charge of that within 6 months of being in the industry.
Fantastic. And why, in your view, is Double Six a great place to work?
We're a great place to work because you'd have to visit it to some extent to see why it's so good to work in. We have a fantastic atmosphere in our office. We're in almost like a loft space in Guildford above a bank. It's doesn't look great from the outside, but inside there we've made it, I guess you could describe it as a big boy's bedroom, to be fair. There's actually real model aeroplanes hanging from the ceilings, all kinds of posters all over the walls. It's very messy, but I think everybody seems to like it that way. We've almost got to the point at which there's pants on the floor and socks and things like that everywhere. It's almost that got a feeling, but it does feel like you're a small team working together, very tight knit, and there's just that great atmosphere in the office. I mean, everybody works a lot for each other. They respect each other, and because the teams are so small, you can resolve a team issue. If there's a problem where somebody's stuck or they've got a problem they want to talk about, the person's probably sat next to you, and if not, just nip over to Starbucks, come back, and the whole team can in one coffee break have sorted out their problem, because the teams are like 5 to 7 people. They're tiny, so they can also be a massive part of the design process. Everybody's got design input. people from the very beginning know what the game's about. They influence it all the way to the very end. So if the game's good, it's because of them. And it means that they're not the guy who did the physics on the wheel nut of some car somewhere, and that's their job forever. They're going to be an intrinsic part of every game they make.
Very good. And finally, what advice would you give a job seeker looking to apply for a job with Double Six or another part of the Kuju group?
Well, obviously the big thing that we're always looking for is talented people, and don't worry so much about what your qualifications have been to this point. I'm a case in point myself, is that I qualified as an engineer but went on to do art and came in through my artistic talents. So people coming in with talent that we can see, that's demonstrable. So make sure you do something that we can see, that's visible. That's harder for some disciplines than others, but even game designers, they can download certain packages or buy certain packages that will allow them to demonstrate their skills. You've got like UDK these days you can get hold of and make some levels in. Artists have got the portfolio, programmers come in and we can test their skills. But you've got to have really good raw talent, and it's not necessarily about what the course that you did during university. Main thing at the university though is to finish your course, get to the end, show that you can stick it out, because if we get people in that dropped out halfway through, then how do I know you're going to make the end of the game? And that's really important too. But realistically, demonstrable talent, and we'll know what we're looking for when you come in.
James Brooksby, studio head at Double Six, thank you very much.
No problem.